Guys, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Thursday. We're running a little late, but you know what? That's okay, because when you hit Suplex City and you have a chat, you never know. Time may stand still differently. I'm, of course, your host, Matty G, coming at you live from Isolation Station 1123. We are headed into Suplex City. Tonight, we're going to be discussing what's happened on AEW, what's happened on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Also, we're going to be talking about the Thunderdome. I don't know, whatever. And then the Sonya Deville possible kid. And then we're going to predict the two pay-per-views this week with the NXT TakeOver Triple X or 30, however you want to call it, and SummerSlam, the best party of the year, which to each his own. Let me introduce everybody to who's going to be joining this Suplex City Chat. I'm a little tired, so excuse that. He is Mr. Evil Dos.
What's up, everybody? And I just want you to know that you've been professionals for 6 weeks. You've been professionals longer than that. I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and I just blew my promo. And I kicked your head and knocked you out on your own show after 6 weeks.
Yikes, I don't really know what to say to that, but okay. He is our resident Paynemaker, Mr. Ryan Payne. Apparently his alter ego hasn't taken over tonight. What's up, brother?
Look, Matt, how many times I've told you he's not an alter ego. He's just my roommate who is about 5 months behind on his rent, though. I mean, look, as long as he's able to at least bring in them views and at least able to, pay back dividends on the electric bill, I have no problem with him crashing in my garage. But at this point, he's starting to wear my patience thin. So I'm looking forward to just talk shop with you guys. And you know what? I don't got much to say on Thunderdome, but if we're going to say something about it, I'll say it sooner or later.
Oh, I'm sure you have something to say. You always do. Welcoming back to Suplex City is one half of our Dudley Boys. He is Jacob the BARBA.
What's up? I'm excited to, I've kind of been a little busy. Haven't been able to be around as much, but here tonight, excited to have a good time.
Absolutely, we're going to have a good time. The other half of the Dudley Boys is up to no good right now. He'll be in and out through the night. You may not see his dog tonight, but he'll be here. That's Mr. D3. When he's ready to talk, he'll be in. And of course, it wouldn't be a Suplex City Chat without our resident villain. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here. We don't have a AEW show, but we will have one this weekend, and we got some big pay-per-views coming up that we're going to talk about, so I'm excited. And Matty G, I thought you were going to bring in the translator, the sign language lady. Did that fall through? For all the people that maybe want to watch, they can't, hear.
Yeah, she's busy with a hand job.
Whoa.
All right.
One of those shows.
I thought it was worth it. I took a shot. I don't know if it landed or not, but I took a shot. What can I say? All right, Jets. Like Villian said, we didn't have a Dynamite this week, but we did have the semifinals of the women's tag tournament and Dark. So, Villian, was there anything on AEW that really caught your eye this week?
Well, I'll talk about the women's tag team tournament first. Didn't really care for the first match. The second match was really good. Too bad that it was in the second round instead of the finals. A lot of people on YouTube, and myself included, thought that match should have been on next week. But it looks like Brandy and Allie are probably going to take this home, and that's going to be a real letdown. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it was definitely the second match was definitely a good match. It does build kind of curiosity of what is Anna Jay doing with the Dark Order? Is she a member of them? Is she not? Because they always seem to walk her out. So that does bring up another interesting point. Paynemaker, everybody sit back. He'll talk for 20 minutes. What did you think of AEW this week?
Well, I want to bounce off of what you said about Anna Jay. Her relationship with the Dark Order is like Colt Cabana. They come out with the Dark Order. You're not really a part of them. They're kind of more like, college recruiters. You know how college football recruiters, they come to they meet with a college student, they scout them out, they try to win them over with perks, have them, attend college games in order for them to join the team. This is pretty much what Anna Jay and Colt's relationship are. They're just pretty much they're recruitees. They're just coming out with them. They're trying to be given, Brody Lee's just trying to give them the perks of like, this is what you're going to get with the Dark Order. And despite this loss that happened, that it looked like what Brody Lee's character was doing was working with Anna Jay and Colt, because they started improving. They had some wins under their belts. But after this loss, though, I mean, personally, I was like with Haben, that should have been a final round match. Now, when this started, I thought this was just going to be an opportunity to pretty much push women who've been on Dark to have the bigger platform instead of Brandy and Ali. I thought they would have lost in the second round, but it seems to me, no, it's going to keep going. I have no idea why Brandy likes to go back to being heel. I understand she shows more personality as a heel. The problem is that it's too goddamn quick. Didn't we spend too much time on Dark of them trying to become a team. Now it's happening. Brandy just goes from 0 to 60, 60 to 120, now 120 to 200. Oh god, I don't like the direction. I like Brandy as a heel when it works. This just feels like it's very forced. Hopefully they lose. I want them to lose in that final round.
Cody's wife gets them perks. What can we say? I mean, Jacob, this was on YouTube. Did you watch it?
I did not. I haven't watched much wrestling, actually. Just watched what caught my interest in between moving and working. So I might catch up on it before the finals happen and just see what it's about. But
it was okay. Evil Ghost, what you got in mind?
All right. Well, I did see on Twitter that Anna Jay was posting a picture of herself doing the Dark Order pose. So if that means anything, it looks like she is Dark Order, and it seems more so than Cult. But Paynemaker may be right. They may be like sort of pledges or being recruited. Who knows? It's not clear. I saw the show. I think that the women's tournament, the best show was the first show. I think it's gone sort of progressively worse, or at least no better. I will say this. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I love heel Brandy. I always loved heel Brandy. I even like the Nightmare Collective heel Brandy. I liked her on commentary heel Brandy. So I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what it says about me. But I love when she does her little dance and she says, we're going to talk about it over a drink. And I love how she keeps talking about the action figure. And she's the only female that has an action figure in AEW. And she was treating it like Moppy or a head. And when the action figure fell down, she had to look a little thing. So I like that. I thought it was funny. It's the only part of the show that made me laugh. Yeah, this seems to be a platform for Brandy and Ali, which is really Brandy, which is sort of unnecessary. I think when we originally talked about this, we were sort of hoping it'd be a platform for some of the ladies who don't get enough time, who already signed. I don't know that anybody was upset that they signed Tayanara or some of the other people or gave them opportunities. I'm happy to see Ivelisse. And actually, Ivelisse has, I know that they probably taped this over 2 days or 3 days, but just in the progression of matches, Ivelisse has looked more comfortable and in more ring shape or that she's shaken off ring roster. I like how the Sicarios are working together and how they are badass. I do not like that they are more badass than PNP. And I'm going to call them PNP and not LAX because they are no longer deserving of the term LAX. La Sicarios are Viva la Raza, PNP.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a point. I guess it's just the direction that happened because, let's be honest, when Santana and Ortiz came in, they were badasses. The problem was that their personalities got over more than the direction the company was doing, especially when they were with Jericho. That's why when we were all talked about in the past that Pride and Powerful should separate itself from the Inner Circle, I mean, get them back on their badassness, have them become a very dominant team, have them win a couple matches in Dark, then translate on to Dynamite to where they're getting them, where they may pick up some dirty wins to get to the tag team championships, to where you see them put on possibly a classic against Kenny and Hangman.
I mean, it could happen. All right, Villain, was there something on Dark that kind of, you know what? No, we're going to start with somebody else. Evil Ghost, did you watch Dark? And if you did something jump out at you this week?
The guy Hood, he looks, is it Hood or Woods?
Will Hood?
Hood.
He's impressive. I think he's got potential. I have an overarching concern that AEW writ large is too bloated, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with these guys. And rumor has it that they may be getting more bloated come Saturday. So I'm not sure. But that was really all I took away from Dark. I mean, well, Ricky Starks had a hell of a promo, but aside from that, most of Dark, I mean, who's going to win the matches going in. I think it's a fine show, but it seems like it's just a sort of a way to build goodwill with the indie community and give people paychecks who otherwise would be completely unemployed during this pandemic time.
Yeah, it's definitely, leaning towards the squash match, but there are some entertaining things on there. I mean, it does give people, a small chance who can't, get on Dynamite because they are their stars, a chance to shine. I mean, oh God, what is his name?
It's like Scorpio's guy. He sort of lives on Dark, and then he comes on Dynamite, gets a shot, but now it seems like he's going to be relegated back to Dark again. I don't know.
Dark has done a good job. I mean, some of the talent that's non-AEW Dynamite, some of them, like Scorpio, has found some good exposure, like Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon. I'm really liking them as a tag team, though. Like every Dark, from the start of their formation to now, they actually have a team. To now getting a team named the Initiative. Now, who knows where it's going to go? To where the end of the year they're still going to be on a losing streak, or most likely maybe after All Out they might get that first win. It feels. I like the dynamic between the two of them, and with some of the some of the talent they have signed on the Dark, like the jobbers or so. Some of them are kind of a mixture of enhanced talent, or some are actually made to look very good. Like one of the talent, Robert Anthony, his first 3 matches were against big guys: Moxley, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. I mean, those were 3 of AEW's top talent they put him up against, not just to give Mox, Cage, and Starks a win, but it also says a lot on this guy that his first 3 matches signed with AEW is against these men who normally you would have to fight on Dynamite.
Sure. All right, Villain, what'd you think of Dark?
I agree to an extent with both of these guys. It's weird. They're not really squash matches because the opponents get a lot of offense and a lot of time to shine in these Dark matches. But it is agreeable for what Evil Ghost says. You pretty much know who's going to win every time they announce which match is happening. Because they rarely have 2 of their main roster guys wrestling each other unless it's like a tag team match. But Dark was really fun. A lot of good matches. It was like an hour and 30 minutes. And to be honest, I thought Dark to me was better than Raw this week, And Dark is a DC show. It was just a lot more fun. I liked it. Vita Scott on commentary. I think they should keep her. Fuck Excalibur, since he said racist shit. I think they should keep her. Put a woman in there. Her, Taz, and Tony Schiavone. They just could chill, and they have so much fun. They're funny as shit, man. I laugh a lot. Just listen to them talking, and you don't really get that in WWE, nowadays. Ricky Starks, man, he cut the hell of a promo, the best promo he ever cut in his life, I must say. And if they don't show that promo this Saturday, I'm gonna be extremely pissed off because he cut that burner of a promo, and you want as much people to see it as possible. And it looks like he's gonna be battling Darby Allin in the future. So this looks like his feud is going there. Tag team matches were great. They had some fun tag team matches. The last match, seemed like it was some dissension between Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade after the win. So maybe, stuff will go on there. But yeah, Abaddon, she wrestled. She had a good match against Red Velvet, who I met personally in a couple matches down here at my local indie wrestling. So I thought that was really cool, But yeah, Dark was fun. I recommend people watch it. If you want to watch a fun hour and a half of wrestling, check it out.
I do agree with on Scott.
Jesus Christ.
We always have to push that. It is free. Like that, you don't pay for that. They're putting that on YouTube. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was gonna say I agree with Haven on Vita Scott on commentary. Not only does she give a good dynamic, but she's also a previous wrestler in the indies. So like when in some of the dark matches with even though it was Nakazawa versus Kip Sabian, she did have some insight into Penelope Ford as she's wrestled her in the past. And with more, if there is going to be some more female wrestling on Dark, it's good to have someone like Vita Scott who has been on that side of the ring before, so she can definitely, like Taz, help give some very good some good play-by-play commentary instead of having to be like constant back and forth zingers or trying to talk or kind of like how WWE does their commentary, where it's just nothing but shout matches that overtakes the attention of the match.
Okay. Alrighty. I guess we'll switch brands unless Jacob's got something he wants to add to it.
Nah, they pretty much said it all. It's a fun show, even though pretty much 90% of the winners. It's a fun hour and a half on a Tuesday night.
There you go. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was mainly agreeing. I was gonna say that Dark. I did forget about the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade, because Butcher and the Blade also got themselves like they got like a slow. They were slightly repackaged on Dark compared to like their first start off in Dynamite. To now, you do see them more as a very efficient tag team. You know what these guys are all about with the Butcher and the Blade. And Dark works itself as sort of like a back to the drawing board setting with certain wrestlers that they couldn't get over on Dynamite, like Butcher and the Blade, like Dark Order. I mean, and it's not much of a dig to Scorpio Sky, but also it's a good way to help show that Scorpio is ready for the main event in the singles division. And yeah, most of the time you do know who's gonna win depending on the wrestling matchups. Whenever you got like those good combinations like Kip Sabian against Sky, or whenever you see something like Lucha Bros versus the Initiative. Sure, the Lucha Bros are going to win, but I like how every time when the Initiative is fighting, you do get to see those glimmer of hopes like they're finally going to get that one win. So they haven't forgotten the storytelling, but I think at this moment, Dark, while it being a B or a C show, it's still a good way to help repackage and help tighten up storytelling, at least amongst AEW.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to bolster bolster people's records, because don't we know in AEW records count. Yeah, I know. I know that's bullshit. We all know that, but that's okay. Let them keep telling themselves that. So let's jump over. Give me just a second. I am updating my computer real quick. Oh, okay. Let's jump up into that real quick. I don't have a banner for it. EC3, he brought up possibly a Ring of Honor appearance. I'm interested to see what that's going to do.
Yeah, that's confirmed. It was on the Ring of Honor website, and they posted it. So at the next tapings, EC3 is going to debut in Ring of Honor. So it seems like that's not a short-term thing. And the interesting thing about it, aside from the obvious, It's the same character, which is great. We already knew he controlled his own character.
Yeah, he has the brand. I think he has the trademark for EC3. Yeah,
he does. He actually applied for it before he went to WWE, but he got it. It was accepted while he was there, and I'm not sure that had nothing to do with his burial. In any event, but his slogan now is "Control your narrative, your own narrative." But it's what it says is that Impact is being more flexible because they obviously signed him first, and obviously, they're letting him. And we already knew that the Good Brothers had permission to work other places like New Japan. You could always work Impact and work all the indies and maybe like small TV things like Championship Wrestling, or you could go to Mexico, or you could do whatever. It doesn't matter. But you couldn't do US TV. That was sort of some places New Japan was the fence, but most places North American TV, nationwide, continent-wise, and mostly US TV was the barrier. And obviously Impact with at least EC3 has waived that. My guess is that it's probably the case with others too, which also may explain why someone like Matt Cardona only signed a 5 or 6 appearance deal with AEW as well. So I just thought it was interesting, and it maybe deserved talking about. I don't know that we know anything more than that, but it by itself, I'm very interested in the business of wrestling, and so that I thought was sort of a neat thing with people being under contract and not just being free agents, sort of roaming. How like Austin Aries was never signed by anyone and sort of roamed around for a while. This seems to be different, and I don't know if it's a paradigm shift where some of the smaller companies are going to start to make this a habit to try to build this counterweight, not just to WWE anymore, but to also AEW. They're competing with AEW more directly now. So a Ring of Honor and an Impact and whatever NWA is left of it, and even New Japan, their North American brand, I mean, they're competing with AEW for the audience every month, every bit as much as they're competing with NXT or WWE, maybe more so. So I don't know. So just something to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead, Villian.
Oh, okay. EC3 is going to show up at ROH. I'm all for that. I dug him as a wrestler when he was in Impact, and I got to see him too at my local wrestling shop, so that was cool. Down the street, I seen him at a wrestling match. So I was like, wow. And I think right now, with the whole COVID, the way the world is, not getting fans, so you're not getting ticket sales. I think Impact, once it started, people kind of forgot about them. You got WWE, still on TV, and then you got Impact still. Impact, you still got AEW on TV. So maybe these smaller promotions are thinking, hey, we're still here. Impact was putting on good matches. They were building, and then when all these people got let go from WWE, they made a power move and got a couple of them in there. Put a little more blood into the veins of the morale or whatever over there. And I think it's just smart because you have to change it up now in this uncertain world where maybe you can't pay this guy this big money, but you give him a contract and you allow him to work somewhere else and he can still get money there. And, people's got to be smarter, and figure this shit out, especially in these promotions, because ROH hasn't done shit since COVID started. So they need to come back. And without being on TV, they're losing money. They're not making anything. So, they got to figure something out and bring some names in, So I think it's smart.
Yep.
Yeah, that has been
without a doubt.
That has been a big side effect. One thing is, I do remember a couple of weeks ago, I downloaded the recent Talk of Jericho with EC3 on there, and I mean, this is not just talking about EC3 alone, but on the episode when I listened to it, EC3 did talk about after he left the company, after he left WWE, after he was released, fired, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he felt that he didn't mention that he felt he didn't need to have that big contract like most guys are out there. He feels like if he can work a couple of shows and still earn big money, he'd be happy that way. So him going to a Ring of Honor doesn't surprise me. I mean, even in because even when he started doing those promo packages after he left, it felt to me that he was going to take his brand and take it wherever he wanted to go, which is why I love the idea of people thinking maybe he'll show up in AEW, Maybe he'll go back to Impact. Maybe he might show up in Ring of Honor. Or, you know, depending on the flight conditions now, he could make an appearance in New Japan. But, you know, it was all about just the possibilities that EC3 was given out there. And the fact that Cordova only signed for 5 or 6 appearances is not bad either, because it shows that, yeah, he showed up on AEW, but that doesn't mean he's gonna stay there. And one thing I do appreciate about AEW's business, and when they sign you to a contract, it doesn't mean that you're with them for as long as possible. If you want to be there for like 7 or 8 shows, fine, because even then they're only doing 1 show a week, depending on if you show up on Dark. So AEW has no problem with you having free range if you're just going to work independent shows in your in your state or your home county, which is why I like the idea of EC3 maybe taking his act to Ring of Honor once he's done with his storyline with Moose and Impact.
Hell, why can't he do both? Why can't he? You know, he can carry if they're going to start, you know, an ROH and an Impact, you know, working together like it's been speculated. He could carry that title into Ring of Honor.
I'd be disappointed if he didn't.
I mean, he could show up, honestly. He really could. He could bring that to Impact. I mean, to Ring of Honor. I mean, because technically that belt is unsanctioned. So the TNA belt is unsanctioned, so he could be on TV. And this recently on their pay-per-view event, Emergence Night 1, EC3 walked away. He stole the TNA championship from Moose. So if he does show up on a Ring of Honor taping, pre-taped, you could see him holding that championship on one of their pre-tapings.
It also could fill in the void that was left by what I presume is the drop storyline of the NWA working with Ring of Honor. Because it was Villain Enterprises against Strictly Business and Marty against Aldis. Well, Marty's on suspension.
Yep.
NWA left Georgia, and they're in California. So Ring of Honor is going to be doing their taping here in Baltimore. That's where they are. So it's a big difference between going back and forth from Georgia to Baltimore for basically, you know, semi-indie appearance fees versus going California to Georgia and back on any sort of frequency. So, and I'm not sure if it's even desirable anymore, but NWA's model is going to be like TNA was early. It's going to be weekly pay-per-views. And I don't know if Ring of Honor has any interest in that, so it's not really much exposure for them. Certainly being on Impact is more exposure, and Impact being on Ring of Honor is exposure for them. So if the egos can get out of the way, it could actually be a great thing. And I think what the Paynemaker said is exactly right. The unsanctioned belt is a really easy way to tell that story without it breaking any sort of sanctity, but still achieving the same thing.
Right. All right, guys. Let's move on to the other major promotion in the United States. And we're going to start with something that I'm not sure really what it's going to look like. Let's talk a little Thunderdome. If Tina Turner's not there singing, something's wrong. Yeah. But this is kind of what they've got in mind. This is probably just some fake picture. SmackDown's supposed to be live, so obviously that's not what it's going to look. What do you guys think of just the picture alone? Jacob, what do you think? You're the if he's there. You're still there.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. I'm interested in seeing how it goes. It's something different other than, NXT Performance Center recruits banging on plexiglass. So it'll be interesting. I'm all for new ideas. So I'm willing to give it a chance, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it works out, and let's give it a shot and see how it goes.
All right, Mr. Your other brother, JB3, welcome to the show, brother. What do you think of Thunderdome?
So far, I just want to see it. I just want to see it. I don't really have an opinion yet. I just really want to see it. I seen the picture. I seen the video. I just want to see it. I want to see it on TV. I'm pretty sure the video I watched was like from a fan's perspective of what they see when they're actually on the show. But I want to see what it looks like on like Fox. I want to see SmackDown. I want to see the pay-per-view or whatever. I want to see all that. That's is when I and then next once I see that, then I'll be able to form an opinion because I don't know. I really don't know what to think. It seems cool, but then it seems lame. I don't know.
Yeah, the rules are kind of a pain in the ass. They want you to have strong internet. You have to, wear. They prefer you wear WWE authentic clothing. You have to be seen from the waist up. One person on the screen at only. So there's all kinds of rules, and if you break them, they will throw your ass out. All right, Paynemaker, what you thinking about Thunderdome?
Stinks. It stinks.
Damn.
Seriously, that's the requirements. I mean, if this, I understand they want fans to wear WWE merchandise, but if it's like they're gonna demand this just for this Thunderdome idea, no, thank you. I'll just watch it on cable TV, or hell, I'll just watch the highlights over YouTube. I mean, if this is a change up from the NXT wrestlers in the audience, then okay, let's see how this goes. But then at the same time, this gives me the greatest wrestling match ever vibes, where it's going to be nothing but audience cues and cheap camera cuts. They say it's live, but let's be honest, WWE will cut corners. They're gonna find a way to get a pre-taped segment or a pre-taped match involved. It won't shock me. I will watch Thunderdome to see, for an open mind. But I already know a part of me is thinking this is gonna fail. Not because no one's gonna buy into it. It's mainly because that if that picture says what Thunderdome's gonna be like, I don't get how the camera is gonna be. Because what's the whole supposed to mean? They're gonna have fans watching the show live. I'm sorry, but people are gonna be if there's gonna be shots where camera is gonna be watching on a match, and all of a sudden you're gonna see 6 monitors of just nothing but backgrounds there, and nobody's actually watching. WWE's kind of written himself into a corner there. Or heck, some fan actually tries to get creative, and they'll have a sign that might say WWE, but then they'll just flip it or grab another one that says AEW, or they'll talk about Moxley, or I don't know. It just feels to be that even though they're trying to be more fan interactive, I just think I don't know. Maybe they could try something a little better.
Well, see, I disagree. They're doing the same thing that the baseball's done, and it seems to work for baseball. So I'm at least going to give it a shot. Villian, what you think?
Yeah, I totally disagree with Ryan.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell he was harping on. It's like he wants to harp on all the negative shit about, if they're going to have rules. I think what that picture showed me looked like a totally different product. It looked really unique. And if we get enough of those pictures where it seems like it's a full stadium and you have, people watching, they might be on delay in case somebody tries to cuss or something, which that's understandable. They have to put a little delay on it. The reactions might not sink in sometimes. But I think, WWE's trying to do something different. And right now I can't be mad at them. They spend a lot. It looks like they spend a lot of money for this. And, they know that the product is sucking without fans. The numbers are down, across the board, record lows of viewership, and they want to have that atmosphere back. And the only thing I would say about it is this might just be a Band-Aid because the in-ring action is what people care about, the storylines and stuff. So you can have the place look as fancy as you want, but if they're not, if they're not producing in the ring and storylines to keep fans intrigued, I don't think people are just going to keep coming back just to watch the background scenery for 2 hours.
Yeah, I agree with that. How about you, Evil Dose? What you think?
Well, I will say that WWE visually has been suffering very much since the COVID stuff has started. And to borrow from and couple two of the most famous raspy-voiced female singers of our era, I am holding out for, and we do need another hero. and that hero might have to be fans. And I understand what Ryan is saying. I know that they're sort of going to try to make it the no fun league. They're sort of neutering the fan spontaneity and what they can wear, and I'm sure there's going to be a time delay, and I don't know who's going to be monitoring 5,000 Zoom screens, but that's their problem. But they're not cutting corners. I mean, they're spending $450,000 to rent this place through October. So I don't think cinematic matches is cutting corners. I think the well done cinematic matches are great and an excellent supplement. I am worried a little bit about the Imperial Senate kind of vibe that might be there and whatnot. We needed a change visually, and I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't think it's just in-ring action that matters, because if that was the case, Ring of Honor would have had 1 million people watching it a week for years, and NXT would probably be the #1 show on in wrestling. So it takes more, and I think AEW is definitely one on the visuals, just the dailies place, just the backdrop of the TV, the different colored lights. I think it's helped, and having the slightly more fans. I do think the WWE is going to stub its own toe, as they always do. I think they're going to do red lighting on Raw. I think they're going to do only blue lighting on SmackDown, because they're so about the branding. But I don't think that really helps the show any. But cautiously optimistic.
Right on. All right, guys. Something massive happened in WWE. Let me pull up the Pro Wrestling Sheet document on it. At 1:15 in the morning on Saturday morning, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were in Sonya's rental when at 2:15 in the morning, the family room door triggered and woke them up to somebody breaking into her house and was getting ready. She thought they were trying to rob her, but then all of a sudden, Sonya realized that they're trying to hurt her. This guy posted on Twitter, "Look outside, baby, by your pool. I'm here. I'm going to kill that little bitch you have inside you." The defendant, who was arrested, admitted that his intentions were to take Sonya hostage by spraying her with pepper spray, binding her with zip ties, wrapping duct tape around her arms to prevent fighting back, and take her hostage. This is scary as hell. I understand that we see in movies, stalkers and so forth, but I didn't actually think that, somebody that we watch on a regular basis, that something this dramatic would happen. Jacob, how's your feelings on this?
I mean, like you said, yeah, this is scary. I can't imagine something like this actually happening in real life. Like you said, we see it in movies a lot. And to hear about it happening in real life is just like what's going through some people's heads to get to that point, I mean, I would have liked to have seen him try. I mean, Sonya Deville, sure, she's a WWE superstar, which is staged, but she's also a real fighter. I mean, I would have liked to have seen him get his ass kicked, but maybe another time. But this is, I'm glad nothing happened. I'm glad she's okay, but yeah, just a scary situation.
Absolutely. Paynemaker, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm still uncomfortable with this story, even after reading it. I'm really glad Sonya is okay. I mean, home invasions, it's still, no matter what situation, no matter what area you live in, what neighborhood you reside in, having someone break into your home wanting to do nothing but harm to you is a very scary thing. And the fact that Sonya, and in fact it happens to her, thankfully she was able to, get a hold of the authorities, and they were able to, scare this guy away or arrest him or so. But geez, she comes home and all of a sudden she's seeing these messages. Someone's inside her house. I mean, there's already enough today for most Americans, or at least most people who live in their own homes and have to deal with the paranoid threat of waking up somebody, waking up to a strange noise already. So I mean, just like this story with Sonya just still brings us some very real feelings. I mean, she's okay. I mean, she's physically she's fine. She wasn't hurt, thankfully. It's just. I don't know. I just don't have the right words to say for this. It's just really, really upsetting.
I got some words.
Go for it, then.
I got some words. I'm just gonna say, first off, we love and respect all women, especially our wrestling women. We're in the midst of we're pretty much we went through a women's evolution, where they got everything changed from them being looked at as the way they were, from the Trish on her knees days to the WrestleMania main event days. Like, went such a long way. So we love that. We love them, and we obviously can't protect them, but we all have that mentality in our minds and in our hearts. So I'll just say this: that motherfucker, whatever prison he lands in, I hope the inmates know who he is and know what he did, and hopefully there's some WWE fans in there too. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yes, Dallas, how about you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I can echo pretty much what everybody said. It's a very discomforting scenario. It's part how he got her address. I don't know. It's a rental. It's bad enough that you can get someone's permanent address, but I don't know how you find a rental address unless he actually was following her, back and forth from the performance center on at least once. It's like the movie The Fan come to life. We know these things happen. All things considered, it probably turned out the best way possible. It's still terrible. There's a lot of sick people out there. I don't have anything much to add to it. I am, to insert whatever humor I can. Sonya and Mandy Rose were hanging out at 2:15 in the morning together in the rental. Sort of liking that angle.
Giggity. Giggity. All right, Villian. What you got, brother?
I just want to report that when we're talking about this stuff, we got to tell the people the facts. And the guy was arrested. He was still on the property, a sick son of a bitch, and the cops went in the house and they found all that stuff on him. And that's just sick, man. This motherfucker needs to get his ass whooped, needs to go to jail. And this was methodical. He planned this shit out. So I don't want to hear no insanity shit. This motherfucker deserves time because he's a sick individual, and I'm glad he's off the fucking street.
And it just so happened it came out a little bit ago. I just noticed I was looking through the Pro Wrestling Sheet article about it. He had been messaging her on Twitter. She said she had several hundred messages from him, and she didn't know because it went to her spam file because they weren't friends. This dude seriously had been stalking her. All right, let's talk about something a little bit more easy. We'll start at the back of the week and work our way around. JB3, what'd you think about SmackDown? Anything step out to you?
SmackDown. I don't know. It is almost like the same old. It was kind of like the same. It was almost like the same show as the week before to me. It was really similar. Like really similar. Like really, really similar. Like, was it like the same show? I don't know. It was
pretty much.
I don't really have much to say about SmackDown, to be honest.
It's SmackDown.
Yeah, as far as the Fiend and Braun, someone called a double turn. I don't know who it was, but evidently that's what's happening, or something weird's happening. It's just all weird to me. I like Alexa Bliss in it. I like what she's doing. It is a high spot. She's really good at it. I could tell. AJ Intercontinental title. I don't know if he did anything. I haven't seen Daniel Bryan. Was he on the show? Maybe not.
Him and Jeff Hardy went at it. Remember he had oh god, what's the guy's name from Impact?
Joseph Parks.
Joseph Parks.
That's right.
No, hold on.
AKA
Joseph.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
That's right. That's what. Yeah. So.
That's
Yeah. Whatever.
And
I don't know.
And then tomorrow night we got Jeff Hardy. Yeah, and then tomorrow night we got Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles going for the Intercontinental title, which I just don't see why they don't just. I think they're going to wait, and it'll end up on like the pre-show for SummerSlam.
That's why they're starting the Thunderdome on Friday. They want to pop them ratings. They're going to have that match probably on SmackDown. Definitely not on SummerSlam.
Maybe.
They want ratings on SmackDown.
All right.
Trust me. But
right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Dudley. Yeah. All right. What's your brother? I wonder what your brother has to say, Mr. Dudley. What's up?
SmackDown. I think they need more tag teams. I'm not sold on Lucha House Party versus Cesaro and Nakamura. It's just a filler feud for them, I think. So that's probably the biggest thing I took away from SmackDown was like the lack of tag teams, or the lack of big tag teams, like tag teams that you can really invest in. So, SmackDown, it's a show. People watch it, I guess.
All right, Villian, what you got?
Nope, nothing.
All right, let me see. All right, we had Sheamus beat Shorty G again.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Metalik defeated Shinsuke. Big E defeated John Morrison. That's pretty much the entire card.
Oh, don't forget about Retribution.
Yeah, I mean,
midgets. All right. I'm sorry. Little people with baseball bats.
It's the aces and 5/8.
Well, they weren't entirely little anymore. But the show opens up with the announcers making a big deal about WWE hired extra security so that nothing would happen. Then they show all these guys with their arms crossed. Retribution comes in. The security's nowhere to be found. They don't even really show them getting their butts kicked. It was just stupid. At least show the security trying to do something or being taken out. That was just dumb. I didn't mind the Big E, John Morrison sort of standing tall kind of thing trying, and then the Big E looking like a titan and then taking 3 or 4 guys to take him out. Yeah. That was all right. I mean, Jacob said it. It was a show. It was okay. I'm interested in the Braun Fiend thing. I've seen from a lot of polls though that I am certainly in the minority on that most people don't give a shit. I think maybe it is confusing as to who's the heel, who's the face. I like that though. I guess most people don't. I don't know what to say. I also like big hosses fighting, so maybe that's another Jeff thing. But I think if anything, this, what happened on SmackDown, what happened on Raw, and the absence of Retribution on NXT just goes to support my theory that I think I had the epiphany while speaking live here, where I think I said, "Oh shit, it's just NXT, isn't it?" And "Oh shit, it's just NXT, isn't it?" I mean, maybe they'll give him a different leader. Maybe it'll be Shawn Michaels, instead, or maybe it'll be Triple H or whatever. Who cares? It's still basically going to be NXT. And, so literally the feud is that it is their house. They're only destroying it a little bit, not a lot, because they don't want to have to rebuild the whole thing. And they chased him into the Amway Center, whatever that is. And now, and they're pissed off. But I don't know, like SmackDown I watched it. And I don't remember thinking it was terrible. It just was largely forgettable.
Largely forgettable is a great explanation of it. All right. Paynemaker. What's up?
No, I was saying that's pretty smacked down for most of the weeks. It's outside of maybe 2 or 3 segments or angles. Most of the show is forgettable. Like big wasted, like the Sheamus Shorty G thing. Yeah, waste. Bye. And then Shorty G turns out to what? He's a reluctant heel. Like he tries to apologize to Riddle. Oh no, guess what? He was just the bait for Corbin to attack. Whoop-de-doo, Corbin. You're in the same position Shawn Michaels was with JBL in the 2010s. And then, yeah, what was the point of the retribution angle? I mean, we have extra security, at least with the Nexus and Aces and Eights. Whenever a company said they had extra security guards, there would at least be a cut to camera angle of either a couple security guys down, and then you see the group beating on the last security guard before they make their way to the ring, or they use their brains to actually work a way around the security. Instead, it was just Cole and Corey Graves. We got extra security here. We don't want what happened to us last night. And then, like a comedy, like a Benny Hill or a comedy sketch, they just Retribution taps him on the shoulder and go, "What security? It's Retribution. Let's get out of here."
I do like watching Cole run away every week.
Okay, that seems hilarious.
You have to find happiness where you can.
I don't know. I think it's Michael Cole. Come on.
But
Now,
I do.
You know who the?
Oh, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I got it. I got it. I figured it out. I know who the leader of Retribution is. It's Hornswoggle.
It's the Raw GM.
Oh, jeez. We do that again.
Exactly.
I'm not watching now. Ever. But
Here we go.
I
It's
still love my favorite was seeing AJ Styles, seeing a mini TNA reunion with AJ Styles and Abyss, Joseph Parks. I'm amazed he still has that same name he carried over from TNA, because the dude, he's got some good comedic chops. Because before he dropped out of TNA Impact, Joseph Parks was a very good character. And then, of course, TNA, ultimately goes to, Joseph Parks is pretty much the Jekyll to Abyss's Mr. Hyde. And then it was kind of destroyed TNA just tore down that character again. But I like how Parks is kind of like a bumbling assistant, or just the unfortunate, naive guy to AJ Styles. Like, I loved how after the whole scuffle, AJ Styles was trying to erase Jeff Hardy's name, and it's like, permanent marker? Really?
That was good.
AJ, where he's got personality.
But one thing though, I mean, you do realize this is Britt Baker and Reba. I mean, it's the same thing. So yes, I thought the permanent marker thing was funny, but I see there's similarities. There are similarities between Britt, Reba, and with Park and AJ Styles. I think one of the biggest downside is that, of course, like with AEW and what WWE's doing with Park, they're not. Of course, if they ever do anything where Park wrestles, it's pretty much going to be TNA all over again, because TNA did exactly that. Park is just like he's supposed to be like some nobody who's given the opportunity to wrestle. And if WWE does that, it's just they're pretty much copying from Impact's playbook. But you know what? I do want to see this dynamic between AJ and Park. Like, I want to see how that carries.
All right. So we've all gotten to talk about it. Let's move on to the other flagship show of them. Evil Dust, what happened on Raw tonight or this week?
Wow. You know what? I felt the same way about Raw as I did about SmackDown, which actually is an improvement over usual. Like, a lot of times I watch Raw and I think it's terrible. I didn't think it was terrible. A lot of people I know thought it was terrible, but it was very forgettable.
There's no, sadly, to Britt Baker. I just want hold on real quick. Britt Baker is awesome on AEW. I love her to death.
I was on the Britt
Baker
train from Jericho Cruise day one. I loved it. Everyone's like, she's terrible, she's drunk. I'm like, I loved every second of it. But
she's drunk.
Yeah, because I'm on a cruise and drunk all the time. That's my life. And I'm an evil dentist. But Raw, I think the Street Profits Team Vega storyline thing continues to be lame. I know that Angela, I don't know what that woman from The Bachelor or Bachelorette is doing there, why she's still there. I thought they were doing a different woman every week, but apparently it's just her. I don't quite get the cross promotion, cross audience anyway. I hope that footage was doctored because, I mean, if it just turns out that Vega did poison Ford, that's pretty lineal and pretty lame. I mean, as much as nobody wants this, I would rather it be Angelo Dawkins who did that. I don't think Vega was wearing the same outfit in the video that she was on TV that week. But then again, she could change, or maybe it was because it was black and white. I see Paynemaker shaking his head. I don't really even know.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it would be kind of stupid on WWE if it's like, wait, she was in 2 outfits that night.
Costume change. I mean, I've seen it before, but Garza's fine. Andrade running away is annoying. I like Andrade and Garza as a team. I think they're going to get the belts this weekend, but I don't quite know why, because they don't. I mean, the tension is always there. I have to admit that I sort of liked it when Ivar put out his arm like Thor and a turkey leg flew into his hand. That was funny. The rest of the segment was stupid as hell. I can't even tell you offhand another thing that. Oh well, sure. The Shawn Michaels segment, totally unnecessary. He didn't really sell the Orton, RKO and punt. He should have been out like everybody else. I mean, he was dazed and confused, but basically everyone else died. I understand he's the Heartbreak Kid, but still, which feeds a little bit into my suspicion that maybe he is the leader of Retribution, wearing his NXT hat and not quite heard, and maybe Orton's in on it. I don't know. That seems too clever for WWE to even. Not even clever, just thinks too many levels for WWE to think about.
And you lose your hair, you lose your.
Does Drew McIntyre have another shirt? I mean, that was my biggest question coming out of the night. Why is he always wearing the same shirt? Is he a cartoon character?
Which bothers me, why they would have 2 different outfits of Selena if she is the one who poisoned Montez. I think
that's just his Monday shirt.
Yeah.
It's his Monday shirt. Well,
it's his Monday shirt.
Yeah, but that actually sort of makes sense. Or it could be like 9.5 weeks where you go into the closet and it's just like 90 of the same.
What's up, Matt?
Could be.
I don't know.
I was
don't remember
what did you think about Raw?
To be honest with you, offhand.
What did I think about Raw? Let's see. I thought Raw was straight. In the beginning, it was okay. I wasn't even excited to watch it at first. It took me a minute to actually watch it. I got something weird happened though. Something really weird happened. Like I like Underground. I liked it. I don't know why. It was so crap at first, but like it was like the like fucking what's his face?
Shane?
Eric.
Oh, Eric. Okay.
Yeah, Eric and Dolph. And it's like, like we talked about Dolph, he's got the wrestling amateur background. But like they were doing their thing and then he did the fucking eye thing and it's like there's no rules and he got the choke and it's like, well, he's a piece of shit. That makes sense because he's a dick and he would do that. And then they got me going with the fucking Shayna Baszler shit and the fucking Nia Jax shit. And Homegirl starting up and doing her thing and she whooped her ass and then Nia Jax came in and then we were about to see Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax and Nia popped. I was like, oh shit. All right, let's fucking do this. I was like, what the fuck? How do I like this? And then Nia Jax ran and I was like, you asshole. And classic heel move. I was like, man, they got me. They got me. And I was And I don't know. It's weird. Like even I liked it all.
And then they
I liked Underground.
and into that they actually announced, and I want to add on to that. And I want to add on to that. They actually announced a match for Raw Underground next week.
Man, I don't know. I want. Somebody said something about a Raw Underground title. That's too many titles. I want the 24/7 title to transition over there. Whoever mentioned that before, that's what I want to happen. That would be cool because that's the only way the 24/7 could have that vibe, that hardcore title vibe, is if it was defended exclusively on Raw Underground. Man, have like that big dude grab it and win it, and then just put it over his shoulder, and he could be like Hulk was in Ragnarok, just like champion. Come get me, and no one beats him.
24/7 title on Raw Underground. Have Shane rebranded for the Underground Championship or just the Underground title, and then maybe we, put that belt to some use.
I mean,
maybe have
keep
that ninja being the wrestler he was in New Japan. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and then they had the big bouncer dude, the 8'7" bouncer, the 6 foot, 12 foot, 14, the big dude, 27 feet tall. The dude his head was above the door, like he was taller than the door itself. It was a regular door. He was just sitting there like this, like looking down on the top of the door, like got some dust on it. Man, I like that too.
Don't you guys know that the first rule of Raw Underground is not to talk about Raw Underground?
Oh, dude, Sean, that's not Shane. He clarified that. He told Nia, he was like, the first rule of fight, you got to fight. Because she didn't fight.
Okay, I think I might have said this last week or in the group chat, but could you see Raw Underground and Retribution kind of being the same, where it kind of follows the Fight Club ideal, where they have the Fight Club, but they have the guys that are trying to get into it, or they're doing Project Mayhem, and then they're going to start picking up steam and then just kind of implode everything?
I don't want them to connect now. I really don't. I think Retribution is still ruining SmackDown. It will ruin Raw. They're ruining everything. It shouldn't be called Retribution. It should be called Retro-Ruination, because it ruins fucking everything. They need to stop. That was a horrible name, but whatever. I don't even care.
Horrible name for a horrible angle.
Yeah, it works.
Retribution's not good enough at fighting to double with Raw Underground.
All right, Villian, what you think?
It was SmackDown, that's for sure. Raw was actually, I too like the return of Nia Jax. That really was up there. I always liked Nia Jax, so that was really cool seeing her come through. Good women's match, tag team match. I liked it. I like seeing Shayna Baszler in the Underground. I like seeing Justin Begin Dukes and her other homegirl. What the hell's her name? Ryan. What's her name? The other girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shafir. Yeah, so it was cool seeing both of them because they're NXT talent. Like they've never said, hey, these women are moving up, and they show up there. That was pretty cool. I'm like, oh shit, they got involved wrestling. So I thought that was sweet too. What else? Bob, the Hurt Lockers doing their thing. Shelton is 24/7 champion again, so that is what it is. The ending was uncalled for. I don't know why they had Randy Orton doing all this shit to build up this match. Like after SummerSlam, where do you go from here? Like, why do all this stupid shit just to have this one match? Like Shawn Michaels didn't need to be there. It just didn't make no sense. He already did Ric Flair. He did this guy. He did that guy. He did this. It's like, how many people he has to beat up, just to show Drew, like, hey man, I'm gonna fight you Sunday. Like, I just thought that was stupid, but I think the match will be good. So yeah, it was straight.
feels like it's that there's only Triple H as the final boss, and that's going to Orton Triple H at WrestleMania is a long way away, and who wants to see that?
Man. Oh man, they got to make up for WrestleMania 25.
You know what?
Yikes.
We all talked about Raw, 6 people, and not one of us even cared enough to mention Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio.
I'm excited to see it.
I was gonna bring that up.
Okay. We can hit rewind.
Yeah, so hit it then, Ryan. Let's go.
Well,
Talk your shit.
well, I was back and forth on this one because I didn't know exactly how they were going to execute this whole thing. Because at first, look, I could do without the whole Rey Mysterio doing his little promo with Dominic. Is like, we know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be just skip to the end. We know you're gonna be in his corner. You're gonna make sure he doesn't get his ass beat. Dominic's gonna be the proud son. It's like, no, I knew what I signed up for, Dad, when I went after Rollins. And then just, I'm so proud of you, son. Is this the 10th time you said this throughout this entire angle? I get it, but Seth, look, I think this time he was more fitted to his role as a heel this time, because this time he actually got his comeuppance, and I actually didn't mind that. I do like how we see Dominic. He's not an idiot. He's learned by watching his father, by watching his business. Like, yeah, he's going to be hurt, but he's not going to be stupid to just stand there in the ring and fight them. No, he's going to be smart. He's going to sneak in some kendo sticks and just start going to town on those suckers. Now, I don't know if the rumors are true that Dominic's going to be rebranded at SummerSlam. I really hope that's not true, because then what's the point of putting a mask on Dominic if he's just been showing his face during this entire 2 months?
It's to honor his father.
Come on
Oh,
now.
I want to jump in there right quick. I want to jump in. This is the only time I'm a fantasy book, because I think Dominic, man, I think WWE, I think they have something unique here. I keep saying it. They need to just give him the same Goldberg outfit, give him the jackhammer and the spear, and have him come to the ring with a mask on, maybe a rose in his mouth, and he, pulls the rose up, crowd cheers, and he just does the same moves like Goldberg, because, we could have a storyline later saying Goldberg passed on the moves. And, they need to build on him, man. And that's what I want to see out of Dominic. He could come when he wrestles, wear a mask, or when he's doing interviews, he doesn't need it. I think that would be really cool and unique.
That's an interesting take. I too think I like the fact that they got their comeuppance, but I just kind of want to see the match now. They've all got their ass whooping. Let's move on to the only Wednesday night thing of the Wednesday Night Wars. Paynemaker, you want to break down NXT? Or JB3? Somebody? Anybody?
I'll start. I can start. NXT was pretty decent. They didn't have any competition to go through. I cannot even talk about anything NXT related without talking about that first match and that fucking beast, Johnny Gargano. I don't know how he's alive. I don't know how he survived. I don't know how his whole shit ain't busted, because that was nasty. I don't know. I've seen bad falls. Shinsuke Nakamura, when he did that thing that exploded to John Cena and John Cena didn't flip and he busted that like that. Them scary moments. Brock Lesnar, German suplex, and Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series for the first time when his head's on a bunch of them. But man, it was like when Sabu looked like remember when Sabu did that in ECW? He actually broke his neck. That's what it looked like. He did, and he didn't. He still fought through it, so kudos to him. The match was good, as they always are. I'm surprised by Ridge Holland. I like when they shine up new people. He's really cool. He's good. Time will tell if it's just Johnny or not, because Johnny is amazing. Oh gosh, man, why you got to bring that up? That.
Because that's the worst of them all.
It is. The back of my head hurts now.
Poor little guy.
But yeah, the match was great. Ridge Holland, Bright Star. I'm not a fan of. I am a fan of Shotzi Blackheart and Rhea Ripley together. That to me was. I'm surprised. That's right, bitch. Sorry, I'm surprised that I didn't think of them two together, but they would make a great tag team. I don't want to really see Rhea Ripley as it, but she's good anywhere she is. So, like, that was great. And I don't want to see her with Robert Stone and them anymore. I'm cool with Robert Stone, whatever, but she needs to move on to something else. She said she was going to move on to something else, and then she didn't. Whatever, though. The Keith Lee stuff. I can't even remember if Keith Lee was on the show, because last time I remember he jacked his eye up.
It was just a hype pack.
Just video.
Yeah, the hype video was pretty good.
Yeah, he wasn't on.
I was not a fan of the result of the Finn Balor Dream match, and I don't even want to talk. It honestly, take all the stuff aside that's going on, the controversy right now, because there is a lot of controversy and a lot of people are basing their opinions on that alone. But if you look at it from even a storytelling standpoint, I just don't like we already had Johnny in there, the guy who already had the belt. You know what I'm saying? You don't need another guy who already had the belt. I wanted to see Finn Balor go for it because Finn Balor's been talking about the North American Championship for like months now. So it would just make sense. Be the first challenger. And then when are we not going to be able to get a chance to see him put up somebody? I'm just saying. But I don't know. But I am a fan of Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor because it's going to be a good program and a good match. But yeah, I probably missed a couple things, but I'm sure other people have picked it up. But yeah, that was NXT. That's what I picked up from it.
You know what? I just realized something from SmackDown that maybe we should have talked about. That all triple branded battle royal and the fact that it just happened. It was just an excuse to give Asuka the victory.
Trash. I love Asuka. Trash.
Yeah.
We talk about that one.
Look, I don't mind Asuka being double. I don't mind Asuka getting the challenge, but it was like nothing but a big smoke and mirrors. You get Stephanie trying to make herself the Vince McMahon to Bayley and Sasha. You don't even tease the prospect of a new challenger, and it's just Asuka. Look, I'll have thoughts later, but NXT, yeah, the finish to Dream and Balor. To be honest, the moment Cameron Grimes showed up on that match, started teasing the both of them, and the fact that Balor was the only one paying attention to him, it started to telegraph that Dream was going to win this match. They did have it. They did have a moment to where you thought Balor was going to come out on top, and I wanted Balor in there too. Sure, he may not win the match ultimately if he was put in that 5-way, but the fact of him being there, not only does it propel his story for wanting to go after the North American title, but then at the same time, it also raises the stakes for some of the other wrestlers. I mean, sure, Johnny, he's there. We know he's going to be great, but Balor, as he said, he has looked past the main belt, the NXT Championship, and he's going for solely the North American title. And then I would have loved to have seen what kind of promo Balor would have given for all four of those men. I would have loved to see what Balor would have said to those men, like, yeah, sure, for the North American Championship is going to be an opportunity for you guys, but for me, it's just another belt to put on my mantle as a prince. And whatever he could have came up with. And to be honest, I thought he should not have won because Dream at this point, I thought there was a possibility of him versus Kushida at TakeOver over the fact that he started beating the hell out of Kushida. And I've not seen Kushida much on NXT. And that dude's a solid performer.
Yep. All right, Villian, what you got?
It was I'm gonna start off by saying that, I know Evil Dose is a numbers guy, and the sad thing is that without competition, they only had like 850,000 people watch. so they couldn't even break 1 million. And they were only up like 200,000 from the last 2 weeks, I believe. So that's kind of a little scary. But yeah, the show was good. It wasn't great, to go into a pay-per-view. It was kind of lackluster to me personally. I can understand why they just had the little promo video, the hype package for the heavyweight title. I can understand that. I could forgive that, because they're selling the story. The matches were good. That Johnny spot was crazy as shit. I'm just like everybody else. I was flabbergasted when that happened. When stuff like that, when you see it happen, it's kind of like time freezes. And the first thing you think is, oh God, man, I hope this guy's okay. So it's I don't want to say it's a miracle. I'm just glad that he's okay. I hope he's okay. I think that for them, if to me, to be honest, it almost feels like they were kind of scrambling to get to this pay-per-view. Like usually they have more defined build to these matches since they don't do pay-per-views monthly. So for some reason, this one I'm kind of just like, oh, it's happening this Saturday. It's not like I don't know, but yeah, it was straight.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
You feel like that they were scrambling to the pay-per-view. I think that they're like walking in a swimming pool to the pay-per-view. It's like they don't even care. I view this whole episode as a squandered opportunity. For at least a week, if not 2, probably much longer, that you're unopposed. You want to say it's not a ratings war, but it's a ratings war. Everyone's paying attention to it. You care. And they put on, and it's a go-home show, to a pay-per-view, 2 takeovers, which are always spectacular. They always deliver. They're always very good or better. And the show you give us is exactly fine. And that's all it was. It lacked energy. It was exactly fine. There were some things, the biggest thing we're talking about is a move that could have resulted in an injury, and thankfully it looks like it didn't, and that's not what we're supposed to do. I hate to say this, and I'm not sure I'm right, but I'm like 80% sure that I'm right. Finn Balor is just a really high-paid trainer at this point. He's going to give the same promo every single time. I'm the king. This is my place. I built this place. I've held every title. So he's going to be in every story. But like maybe once every 18 months he'll win something for a little bit just to keep it viable. But he's basically their Randy Orton. They're going to stick him in when they need him. Otherwise, he's sort of he's just part of he's like the narrator. Johnny is just in that match to be the ring general, because a lot of those other guys are sort of not as experienced. He's not winning. Dream isn't winning. There's too much stuff around him. It's amazing they stuck with him this far. Yeah, I hated the end because everybody did theirs. It felt like a Ring of Honor match where everybody took their turn doing their finisher. And Reed standing over with the belt. He's not winning because he's standing over there with the belt. I do like Thatcher and Finn, which seems to be the difference of opinion. Nobody's talking about Dakota Kai and her match with Io. Sheezel was impressive. But Sheezel, Diesel.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
She to me is more interesting than Dakota Kai. I'd rather see her against Io.
I was going to bring it as one of my gripes with NXT. Not just the lack of build, but the lack of focus they've been putting on Dakota. When Raquel was gone, when she was not on TV for a while, they could have had a great opportunity to have Dakota become more ruthless every episode. Because since her heel turn, even before her heel turn, I've always believed and always booked in my mind Dakota is going to be the one with the championship. Either she turns up before that heel turn, she was either going to turn up the attitude to where she was going to use everything in her power to beat Shayna Baszler, but give him to Rhea, or she turns heel, either a face like Rhea or someone like Io Shirai won it, and Dakota was next in line. And the fact that Dakota, who's also had great dynamic with Raquel, you think they want to try even harder to push her to be not just the top, not a top heel, but just a very strong and solid heel to face. Not someone who's cowardice or who has who's opportunistic. Because I've seen her wrestle in other independently. The fact that she's mostly striker, the fact that she's and the fact that she uses kicks as like finishers, you think that WWE from their standpoint would want to book her solid, or at least have her have some protected moves. What?
I didn't say
I
it.
thought someone was trying to say something. Oh, no, I just heard like a weird random noise. Maybe it was just like the outside of my house. Sorry, but what I was just saying, you think that with NXT, the fact that after Shayna left and when Charlotte had the belt, there was really no strong heels outside of Dakota, Candice, but now that Charlotte is gone, there's an empty void of top-tier female heels, and I thought Dakota was the perfect person to take advantage of that, and the fact that the booking has not supported her that much, especially in the build-up to the takeover, shows that they're pretty much they're slow walking, they're sleepwalking their way to takeover, which should be their 30th one. They need to make a big deal of it, like they did with Takeover Brook, New York, when they went back there, or with Takeover 25 when Cole won the belt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there was the one thing I will say is I like Mercedes and Rhea as a pairing. I think that actually is a pretty cool feud if they can break away from the tag team mess. I don't know where it's going to go. I think it's to get Rhea her heat back because she's the younger talent. But I don't know. I like that pairing for whatever reason.
I was actually sold on Adam Cole and Pat McAfee. I had no expectations going into this. I thought this was a waste of time, but their promo on Wednesday was actually pretty decent, and McAfee cut a good promo. I was surprised. I enjoyed it as much as I did. And, Adam Cole is Adam Cole. He's one of the best in NXT, probably one of the best in all of WWE right now, to be honest, in my opinion, anyway. And the way he just got rid of those 4 guys was great. Undisputed Era leaving the ring when Pat McAfee mentioned, "Oh, of course you were going to have these 3 guys with you." The face-off, I thought it was good. I'm actually looking forward to this match now and seeing. It's got to end with Pat McAfee losing. I don't think you can have the longest reigning NXT champion lose to an NFL punter, but I'm excited to see it now, and kudos to both of those guys. As for the rest of NXT, like you guys said with the Johnny Gargano spot, it was a little hard to watch, but the guy's a beast getting back up and continuing the match. I'm a little disappointed Finn Balor's not in the ladder match. I'm a little disappointed Finn Balor's not in the ladder match. I thought, he could win the belt. He should win the belt. Hopefully, he's the first challenger now to whoever does win it. But yeah, no, like you guys said, I'm not as excited for this takeover as I usually am because of the build, but I'm still expecting good things because takeovers usually deliver.
True. I will admit, I was slightly impressed with the McAfee and Cole square off. They did a good job of having Pat be up on his high horse. I mean that shot he made at Cole. You're over 400 days. You were shown as the toughest, baddest son of a bitch. But all it took was one kick from me to knock you out to prove you as a fraud. He did a good job with the delivery he had. Yeah. Which makes you want to see him get his teeth kicked in. And I liked how Cole, the best thing he did was not get on the mic. Cole did, because to be honest, if Cole got on the mic, he would run Pat McAfee down like it was a rap battle. You get the experienced guy versus the newcomer. Cole would have run rampant over Pat. He would have had so many insults at him, so many smart jabs at Pat before Pat can even come back with his whole gang. So the fact that he didn't have to talk says miles. And I do like how after the guys are gone, when he backs Pat into the corner. I love how he doesn't even have to worry about the other guys that popped up. He just goes, Sunday, you're going to be my – Saturday or this Sunday, you're going to be my bitch. Plain and simple. I'm not going to waste any time with you. Train.
Saturday, not Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I know. I keep, because we got Dynamite, and then, of course, there's SummerSlam. I'm like, geez, there's so much happening this weekend.
Well, I disagree with both of you guys. No offense. I think this is still, to me, I don't get the point of this at all. A couple weeks ago, this guy was a champion. This guy was a total heel. And then you bring in some fucking sports talk show host to feud with this guy. And what? You're going to turn the heel from 3 weeks ago? Now he's going to be a face because he fought some outsider hosts one time? Like, I don't get the point of this. Like, there's plenty of wrestlers there he could wrestle with. They could have maybe built this a little longer, maybe a couple months, and then, had some interest. But I seriously have no interest in this because I think Adam Cole has to win this. And because I don't see, I don't see the appeal of this other guy winning the match, because I don't know where the story will go from there.
Oh, I'm not a fan of this. Plain and simple. I'm just impressed with what they did this week.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the two of you. I mean, as you remember, I think last week I said I can't decide whether I hate this more or the Rollins Mysterio angle more. And because of the promo, which I thought was pretty good, and I also was relieved that they resisted the temptation of having the 3 other football players get involved with the 3 other members of the Undisputed Era. That seems like WCW would not have been able to resist that. But
they would have salivated at that opportunity.
Right. But, all that said, I'm not saying it's a great story. I agree with everyone else. Cole has to win it. But I do officially hate this angle less than the Rollins Dominic Mysterio angle now. So I guess that's something.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm still not like, this is my number one match I'm looking forward to. I'm more excited than I was. They did better than I thought they would, especially Pat McAfee. He's doing better than I thought he would.
Yeah, like these takeaways. I mean, look, the takeover happening, the card itself. I mean, let me be honest, guys. What match actually gets you out? I mean, what match are you actually looking forward to when it comes to the takeover 30 card? I mean, personally, I'm pretty sure all of us are agree. I'm assuming.
Wait, hold on. We gotta wait for it. What happened to our host? Is he coming back? Does anybody know? Did he message us?
I thought maybe he had like a bit of an internet problem. That's why he
that I can see.
The show must go on.
He trusts us, Villian. He trusts us.
Yeah, we're live, man. We're live.
All right. Okay, I just want to know what's going on because we're not going to talk about the Pat McAfee shit for 30 minutes. Like we said, we all said our shit about that. And NXT, I believe. So I don't know what's next for us to talk about.
Prediction time.
Let's do these predictions.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Takeover, or should we hit SummerSlam?
Ryan, you got the card? You got the cards?
Let's do takeover since it's Saturday.
Have the lineups for the order?
Yeah.
Anybody have the lineups?
Won't take me that long to find the card.
Yeah, we got the lineup for takeover for sure.
We got Thatcher Finn. That's probably going to be
Matty G was going to put pictures up so we could see the thing. Because I didn't write down like a list, I was going to freestyle.
If he comes back, he can do that. But if not, I'll start it off.
How about just type it into the chat and then we'll all see it. Then we'll just go in the same order.
Yeah. All right. Well, give me a moment here.
Well, I have it in my brain right now. I know what it is.
I can't open my chat for some reason.
Well, Jacob, why don't you take the lead and just read off the one match at a time for our predictions, and then go to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get the. Well, since we just were on it, let's start with Pat McAfee and Adam Cole. I think we all might be in agreement here. I'm going Adam Cole.
Boo! Match sucks. Yep, Adam Cole for me.
For sure. All the way.
Yeah.
I guess I should write down my.
It has to be Cole. I mean, because no offense, look, Triple H has done some good stuff, but at the same time, whenever he books champions in a long run, the moment they lose their belt, some of their steam is taken away from them before, they go up, before they go to the main roster too. Because we've seen that happen a couple of times with, we've seen that happen to Sami Zayn, we've seen it happen to Adrian Neville, we've seen that happen to Samoa Joe, we've seen that happen to Shinsuke Nakamura, we've seen it happen to Baszler, and Asuka. I mean, sure, Asuka has some steam on. She had some heat though, but anyone who's ever booked in a long reign down there, they tend to suffer after they lose that belt. So Cole has to win that match.
That would be Power. Elect. Here in Arizona, this time of year, we have monsoon storms, which are massive dust and thunder and lightning. So the power went out. So you can't get on the internet without power. So, okay. What are we? So what have we discussed?
We are doing predictions. We are on the first match of TakeOver, which we randomly picked as the Cole McAfee match. Sounds like we all picked Cole, and now we're sort of talking a little bit about it. Yeah. And I was just going to say the only interesting aspect to this at all will be if any of the EU turns on Cole.
I think they're going.
Yeah. I do have one overarching thing, and that is that there was no. Don't forget, we have another pay-per-view Payback in 1 week, so there is no guarantee that NXT is not going to be part of Payback. I would say, if my theory of retribution is correct, there's almost a guarantee that NXT will be part of Payback. So there's no guarantee that all of these matches will finish neat.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. I think Cole's going to win this. I think he's going to carry Pat McAfee, though. I think he could. So we'll just go next. We'll start with our opening card. It's the NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match with El Gando del Fantasma, Breezango, and Uni Lorcan and Danny Burch. I'll go first. I think Phantasmo needs this win. I think it looked good for them to have gold. All of them sitting around the table with gold laid out in front of them.
I'll second that.
I got Oni and him.
I third that.
Well, it can't be Breezango because they just lost their title match, so that would make no sense. I'm not sure about the other two. I'll go with Oni and the other guy just to be contrary.
Because look,
I was gonna go.
Look,
go ahead, JB3. Go ahead.
Yeah, like Oni and Birch. They're like. They're what was that?
Yeah, Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan.
Yeah, they're really good, and I feel like I don't want to say this wrong, but when they pair UK people together like that, they knock it out of the park, and I think it's going to be one of the best matches on the card.
It could be.
I'm talking about later on. Oni and Birch versus Imperium. And yeah.
Do you remember when Paul Heyman had Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko as a tag team? I think they were called the Enforcers.
Yes.
That's sort of what Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch remind me of for whatever reason. I sort of feel that vibe with them.
All right. So we kind of... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to second third. No, I was going to agree with JB3 and Evil Dose, Lorcan and Burch, because they have extensive experience, and also they put on some great NXT matches during like the height of their tag team period with the Undisputed Era. With one of their best matches I saw was against the Undisputed Era in one of their takeover shows, and them against Imperium would be a great match.
All right, let's move on. Something we've kind of hinted at. We got Balor and okay, I can't read all of a sudden.
Timothy Thatcher.
Thank you.
Keep that.
I'm sorry. My notes got all screwed up for a minute. I think this could be match of the night. In my honest opinion, this could be match of the night. I don't know who to pick, so I'm gonna let y'all talk, and I'm gonna sit here and think about it. Dose, what you got, brother? You're the numbers man.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really interesting contrast in styles. I think it might be somewhat similar to Thatcher versus Riddle, which was an excellent match. Now, we're not getting that cage platform contraption, which really added to that, but I think it'll be good. But like I said earlier, I think Finn Balor is high-priced in trainer enhancement talent, so I think Thatcher is I don't even know how old they are versus each other. I think Finn is 40. I think Thatcher's like 33-ish, but I think that Thatcher wins or there's some tomfoolery involved, but I'll go Thatcher.
Okay. Haven, who you got?
Thatcher.
All right. Well, that was fast. Jacob, what you got?
Timothy Thatcher.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go with Thatcher as well. As much as I want Finn Balor to win, he's just a personal favorite of mine. He can't win everything, and Thatcher is an up and coming guy in NXT, and I could see him being a big star. And this is also going to be my final prediction. I got to go, so I'm going to say my good nights. Thanks for having me. So I'm going
Good night, friend.
All righty, brother. Well, stay frosty, I guess.
Yeah, for two.
He's 37. He's born in 83.
You really gotta care about how old they are. I mean, they're gonna put down a great match. I mean, you guys might be going with Thatcher, but you know what? I'm gonna go Balor on this one. Not by a decisive win, but I think it's gonna be kind of like a surprise victory. Like Thatcher's gonna put a submission hold, and then and what they've been doing with Thatcher, always with those little those vignettes where you're seeing he's got like some sick pleasure out of him putting on a submission hold. It's gonna be one of those situations. He's gonna do that to Balor, and then Balor might get a fast one on him. Because if we remember back in that triple threat match with him, Balor, and Loomis, that's exactly how he lost that triple threat to not get into the North American in that ladder match. He was taking too much time. He was taking too much time, enjoying it instead of actually getting the victory.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Balor too, just because I think Thatcher could win, but I'd like to see Balor win. All right, we got Io Shirai and Dakota Kai. Ryan, I know you got a lot to say on this. Go for it.
And I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. I love both of these, so it's going to be a hard choice. As much as I want Dakota to win this one, I have to go with Io because right now, after her winning that belt in your house, she hasn't had the best or strongest run with the belt so far. So I have to go. I'm going with Io on this one because I believe we'll get a better match between these two down the road, and one that's given more focus and more importance.
Yeah, Io's gonna win. She just got the belt. That's my short and sweet. JB3, who you got?
I picked Dakota Kai.
Ooh. Evil Dove.
The reason I picked Dakota Kai isn't for any other reason. I love Io, but I think that it's with everything that they're setting up, I'm predicting that Io is going to replace Kairi Sane and become Asuka's team partner, and she's going to move to another brand, either move to another brand and then Dakota Kai is going to be a heel champion, and with she's got her bodyguard, she's got her muscle. That she can have it, you know what I'm saying? Nice heel champion like that. But yeah, I just think Io's going to be with Asuka. Payback.
I like that. Evil Dove, who you got, brother?
Yeah, I think that Dakota Kai wins because of Sheezel.
All right. And Villian.
I got Io. I got her retaining.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna
All
be
right,
embarrassed with Dakota's Twitch and she wins the championship. I'm sorry, Dakota.
All right, let's move into the NXT North American Champion 5-way ladder match. I'm gonna keep this straight. I think Damian Priest is gonna take that belt.
I agree. I think it's about time he wins the title. I'm going with Priest.
Yeah,
I
he is
got
the strongest. Oh, go ahead, JP3. Sorry.
I just gonna say I got Gargano. I feel like it's his time.
Get that ass whooped by Finn.
Maybe that's how he loses it, but I think he's gonna be the first. He does a lot of firsts there, so I think as a heel, that'll be another platform for him to say, "I'm the first ever Triple Crown. I'm the first ever 2-time North American champion." I don't know. I could see it sitting at his dinner table with Candice LeRae. Like, I don't know. I think it's stretching.
I'm
It's
actually
not a-
gonna. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's not a bad idea. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm gonna say I'm going. Even though he stood tall, I think he's gonna be the dark horse going in. So at the same time, NXT has been giving him much of a better platform. So I'm gonna go with Bronson Reed. Sure, I'm guessing maybe on a predict like if this was betting odds, he'd probably be like at a 50-1 or maybe a 70-1 chance of winning compared to the rest. So, but I'll still put my money down on Bronson.
All right.
I think it's Priest time.
All right. And our main event. Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. Kross wins at the draft in October. Keith Lee goes to Raw or SmackDown.
Me too. That's my pick. Exactly what you said.
I'm going with Keith Lee. I hope they don't disrespect him like that.
They will.
Yeah.
I feel you,
Lee.
brother. I don't trust WWE anymore.
No, I'm with Keith Lee on this one. After him becoming the first double belted in NXT, then having him give up the North American Championship, and then I understand Karrion Kross is a strong character that they're behind, but I'm all in with Lee. I believe he's going to retain.
And Dose, who you got?
Love both these guys. I think both of them are people that you can build and rebuild the WWE brand around. Theory one, schmaz. I double DQ, something brutal, maybe an injury to Keith Lee's already burned eye. Payback, Kross wins. If I have to pick for today, I'm going to go with Kross. They have a rocket strapped to that guy, and I don't think anything is going to stop it. I think they want to put gold on him and then get him on the main roster by hook or by crook.
Yep. All right, let's move into the next pay-per-view of...
There were still a few matches on NXT. There was the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
My phone's on 10%, man.
Oh, then let's keep moving.
My phone's on 10%, so my shit's gonna be dead before we finish.
Who's even fine?
All right, so just real quick, just say who it's going to be. Street Profits, Angel Garza, and Andrade. I think Street Profits drop.
Agreed.
I'm picking Street Profits to win.
Yeah, Street Profits. Garza and Andrade, they're probably going to get the belts maybe on Payback. So I'm going with the Profits.
JB3.
I think the opposite. I think that Garza and them are going to get the belts now, and I think that the Street Profits are going to get them back at Payback.
Alrighty. Hair versus hair. Mandy and Sonya. Mandy's already had her locks cut. I think Sonya looked more badass. Bald. Mandy wins.
Mandy wins.
Mandy wins.
Mandy.
Yeah, Andy.
All right. Dominic and Seth. My opinion, Seth wins.
Dominic.
Yeah. To be honest, after Extreme Rules with this angle, Dominic. They're gonna put Seth on a very low. They're gonna lowball Seth, so Dominic.
How pregnant is Becky?
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. He's gonna be.
I care so little about this match. I think that Dominic looks better than he should, but I don't see how Dominic and Mysterio beat Seth Rollins on his first match without some fuckery, which is entirely possible. But since we're just picking up,
that's why Ray's going to be in his corner.
I know, but we're just picking the winner. We're not. I mean, I don't think we're picking schmazzes, so or dusty finishes, whatever you want to call them. So I'll go with Seth, but this will be my pee break.
Yeah. Rumor has it he's going to get written off eventually, just not quite yet.
Yeah.
We'll start with the first Asuka match. Asuka and Bayley. Bayley retains.
Asuka 2 belts.
Ooh.
I'm picking. Depends what match goes first. God damn it. I think Bayley will retain.
I think Sasha goes first. I think
Damn.
that's what they said.
Damn it.
So then we'll just jump. Oh, wait. JB3 and Ryan haven't said it yet.
I got
Bayley's gonna lose. Sasha will retain.
I think the opposite.
I do too. I think. Yeah.
I think Asuka beat Sasha, and I think Sasha's gonna help Bayley win, but Bayley's not gonna help Sasha win.
Sasha needs that decisive victory because so far the way she's gotten that belt has been, there's been great heel finishes without doubt. But this time, I think she's gonna get that decisive victory.
I don't. I think this is going to lead right into their. This is going to lead into Payback, where they already have that tag team championship match set up. So then we see that split. That's my opinion. All right, Fiend, Braun Strowman. I got he's going to choke Braun out.
I got no contest.
Ooh.
You read my mind. I'm thinking no contest as well. No contest or a DQ finish.
Any kind of no contest tie, like whether it be a no DQ, double count out, they just stop the match for no fucking reason, like sometimes they do.
Yeah.
I think that the Fiend wins with Alexa Bliss's help, some sort of like low blow, lame shot, something lamer than we deserve, and there's a rematch on Payback next week.
Villian?
I'm picking a false finish. I don't think it's going to be a clear winner of this match.
Right on. All right, last one, guys. WWE Championship, Drew and Randy Orton. I think this is where your false finish happens. I think this would be a bigger selling point for Payback than Fiend and Braun.
I disagree. I think Randy Orton's taking it.
I think Orton's
and then
taking
they'll give
it
it back to Drew later on.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm with the group of people that said it online on the internet community, the internet wrestling community. I'm with the group that says Ric Flair is going to be the one that's why the lights went out. He didn't really get his head kicked. It was all he's the dirtiest play. He's going to come out and he's going to screw Drew. And then that's going to cause the shenanigans for the rematch. And then Randy's going to beat him again. And I don't think Drew's going to get it back until like WrestleMania next year. Reset.
That makes sense, except the reports were that Rick was being written off of TV, and I think that's probably true. Yeah. I'm not sure that you're not wrong about there being a screwy finish. I actually think that there's going to be a lot of screwy finishes in both these cards, because why else is there a pay-per-view a week later called Payback? I mean, what's the point? But I think Drew retains.
Here we go. I'm going for the screwiest and most wild card of finishes. Retribution is going to get involved, and the match is going to get thrown out, leading to a rematch between McIntyre and Orton at Payback.
Okay. I guess that's the cards. Villain, since your phone's dying, where can people find you on the internet?
Was there an MVP match? Or no?
This is MVP.
I'm sorry, I didn't find that bracket. MVP and Apollo. I think Apollo wins.
Why are you even on your phone?
Yeah, he's got to keep it.
No?
I think that this is where Cedric turns and MVP gets the belt back.
Ooh. Ryan.
Apollo. I still think Cedric's going to turn, but it's going to be most likely Apollo celebrates Cedric's in the ring, then attacks him, leading to a feud between the two of them.
At Payback. Ooh. All right, JB3, wrap us up.
All right. You should. Yeah, you can find me over at Nerd Entertainment Network. Do the dealios. Is that what you wanted me to do? I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted.
Oh no, I asked you who's going to win, Apollo or
huh?
MVP.
Apollo.
All right,
but everything I said before, that's where you can find me. Yeah.
All right. Villain, how about you? Where can people find you?
Well, they can find me every Thursday here, talking wrestling. And of course, you can find me at Jack of All Trivia on Facebook. That's how you get into matches. We're doing a tag team tournament for number one contenders. So that's going to be big starting next week. And then, of course, you can find me on YouTube at Suplex City every Thursday night. And, of course, on Jack of All Trivia.
All right, Mr. Paynemaker.
Everyone can find me here on Suplex City Chats Thursdays, or depending on how Dynamite and the weekend did for the pay-per-views. And I don't know. But also people can find me on TMG Trivia running Franchise Wars. We're near the end of our Star Wars Mini-S tournament. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open and your eyes glued, or I will be announcing what will be coming after that.
Right on. And Mr. Evil Dose, where can the good people find you?
You can find me here Thursdays on Suplex City Chats with the fine fellas talking wrestling. Also, my podcast with Shaheen, Garden of Doom. We have 5 episodes that are dropped. The technical 5th episode of Garden of Doom itself will drop probably within the hour. But there is a 5th episode we're calling a mini swamp, which is me and Kevin Castle from the Don Tony Kevin Castle show. Part 1 of our conversation on wrestling is already there. Part 2 will drop early next week. So very excited about that project. On Twitter, Icarus Fell MD. On Facebook, I'm the moderator of the Solid Monster Sounds Off Wrestling Facebook group page.
And of course, I'm Matty G. You can find me as always hosting Suplex City Chats. Saturday nights we've got After Dark Takeover. Sunday nights we've got our Movie Mania. This upcoming Monday we will be back live to do a kind of wrap up of the weekend of AEW Takeover and SummerSlam. So be on the lookout for that. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll know every time we go live. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button so you know when we go live. For everybody here at Suplex City Chats, too sweet.
Wait.